Well, welcome to another edition of the Don't Argue All. Thanks to Palmerbet, of course, and Gids. We've even had a little bit of a catch-up earlier this week, big fella.
Yeah,
Got some exciting things about to drop.
mate. Some exciting content about the drop. Mate. Some great debate over the last 24 hours. There has been, mate. So I just got to keep my voice down here, mate, because I'm up in enemy territory.
Yeah,
I'm up north.
you are
I'm
well
up
and
north of the
truly.
border. Yeah, I need the wig and the glasses with the mustache on.
The old Groucho Marx. You get bashed up there, I'm Timon. You will absolutely get hammered if they know you're up there. They probably think it's a covert little operation to find out what you can find out about the Maroons going into State of Origin. Game 1, which is going to be sensational. And Punters Club is happening too at Palmerbet. They're about to drop and launch that, which is going to be huge. And we're going to be part of a little Punters Club ourselves, big fella, which I can't wait for.
Mate, that'll be good. That'll be good. This, mate, it's similar. I think what your WhatsApp groups where there's a bit of banter, a bit of sledging, and but you're inside the app here, so it's going to be gold.
Hey, mate, talking about banter and sledging, you've copped a fair bit in the last 24 hours too, mate. So we had to do some recordings and we had a heap of fun. And me and Benny Henn at the Polar Bear, we kind of had to get out of there for a while because I had tears rolling down my
Leave the room.
face.
Yeah, let's just let the punters know scripted lines aren't my best forte.
Tell you what, mate, though, when we done an Origin draft, something
that was
different,
good.
super draft. Yeah, it was unreal, and
Cool.
just wait for it to drop. But I reckon it was brilliant. So our best Origin teams, we all got selections, and it actually come up. It'll come up really good. I reckon it was brilliant. Something different for the punters, Gids, which I reckon.
Yeah, mate, I've never thought about that as an Origin draft. I mean, rugby league's never had a draft previously, and that was a cool experience to be able to pick New South Wales or Queensland players, and to not have the luxury of choosing whoever you wanted. So keep an eye out for it when it drops, probably next week, I think it is.
Yeah, love it, mate. Hey, listen, let's have a look at the good, the bad, and the ugly from last week. And they're good. The Panthers, of course, they were awesome. Flexed a bit of muscle against the Cronulla Sharks. 42 zip thumping. And this was all without Nathan Cleary, Gids. They are honestly on track to go for number 4, aren't they, mate? They are flying.
Oh, Matty, we speak about it every year, don't we? We get to this Origin period and we think, Nathan Cleary's had some injuries around this time over the last couple of years. They lose a stack of Origin players and they just continue to power on. So I don't think anyone's seen that coming on the weekend, that the Panthers would get a victory at Shark Park the way the Sharks have been going. But to win 42 zip, it's an absolute towel up.
Yeah.
So
amazing, isn't it? But we were talking about this, weren't we, during the week? Like, it's just they know their system so well, Gids, don't they? And that's just a really well-oiled, drilled machine. Like, the players just come in, they play their role, they do what they have to do, and that is the sign of a bloody good team, and that's what they are.
Well, mate, it's a pipeline of talent, Matty. That's what it is. It's an absolute pipeline of talent. The Western Sydney region and the Penrith region, that's for sure. They've delivered on that pipeline of blokes filling in, stepping up to the next grade over the last 5 years. So, yeah, it's an amazing system they've got there, and success brings more success because all the junior players that are coming through the grade, they want to grow up and they want to be a Penrith Panther and play first grade themselves. So they continue to inspire the next generation, which will only bring more talent through.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Hey, the bad, poor old Parramatta, they get no relief whatsoever. Their season from hell, got worse with a loss at the Rabbits, the hands of the Rabbitohs, losing 42-26. It had to come at some stage for the Rabbits, I suppose. But the Rabbits' high score before last week was 24 points way back in round number 1. That was in Las Vegas.
Yeah, right.
Where boo for the Eels, big fella?
Well, yeah, mate, they're obviously really, really down on team morale and confidence and belief. There's no doubt about that. So, look, it wasn't going to be the most exciting game. It was whoever could defend well. High scoring game, obviously 42-26. But, they've just sacked their coach, Trent Barrett's caretaker coach at this stage. So, Basil obviously want to try and impress and turn the team around for the back end of the year to try and push his chances of either taking over at Parramatta or another club. But, a win that the Bunnies need it, mate, but I'm not sure if they'll be able to maintain that consistency. It'd be interesting to see how they go, but both teams are in struggle street.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And the ugly, well, the Dragons, our man Kyle didn't want us to mention him, but I tipped him last week for him and let us down, to be honest. But, they were awful in the second half against Canterbury last week. They were leading 12-6 at half time and letting 38 straight 0.7 tries. And there's a little message on our sheet. Go easy, boys. We ain't going easy, kids. We ain't going easy, mate. That's gee whiz, that was disappointing, to be honest, wasn't it?
Mate, it was super disappointing. Like, to be leading 12-6 at half time against the Dogs who had been playing some pretty good footy and were pretty. Oh well, I thought it was going to be a competitive game, even though the Dogs have been playing some good footy over the last month. But mate, from to go in 12-6 at half time and get towelled up in the second half by 38 points straight, like, where's your head at? Where have you come out after half time for some of those players? And that's where they'll be scratching their head, mate. Ordinary video session to sit through, and yeah, I don't know where they're at. The G's are inconsistent, they're inconsistent because some weeks we've seen them play at Wing Stadium and
they're unreal.
They're unreal. They're unreal. They got good support there and great crowds and play some great footy, and they compete on different plays defensively and attacking plays. But Jesus, it must be frustrating to be one of their fans and coach and stuff. That's for sure.
No, it's frustrating for our man Kyle. A few more great hairs each and every week for the big fella. Hey, tips for last weekend, mate. 6 out of 8. You missed the Sharks and the Broncos.
The Sharks were favourite. They're both favourites too.
They're both faves, mate. So so there you go. And I missed the Dragons. Storm let me down, which they don't do very often. I went the Raiders over the Roosters and missed the Broncos as well. So 4 out of 8 for me. That is terrible. To be honest, Gids, but 6 out of 8 for you, mate. You were close.
I'm just, the old super ad where the gap gets bigger.
Leave us.
That's us. That's us too. I'm just slowly
You are gapping me. You are gapping me, big fella.
But mate, I must say your Matty's must-haves are going far better than mine. That's for sure.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Of Gids. But let's have a look at your best bet last week. So you went Manly Seagulls to win 1-12. So big tick. But you had Xavier Coates, Ruben Garrick, anytime try score. You're a little bit stiff there, to be honest, Gids.
Oh, they're two quality finishers, and they're normally, if Manly win, Ruben Garrick's normally in amongst it as well, and Xavier Coates is a fantastic player. So yeah. Anyway,
move on. We move on, big fella, and Rabbitohs Eels for mine. Rabbitohs 13 plus. I snagged. I needed Latrell and Cody Walker to anytime try score. Alex Johnson saluted, which got the job done there, but unfortunately, and they both had chances throughout the game. Latrell and Cody didn't they? Could have come off.
Yeah, they did. But mate, I know Latrell comes under a bit of heat sometimes. But geez, I thought the sin binning was an ordinary one. Like, he can't. Like, what can he do? Well, I don't think it was purposeful. Yeah. I don't think it was grubby. I don't think he was in the wrong. So, but for him,
they've been red hot all year, haven't they, Gids? Like, they've kind of drawn the line in the sand, the refs, haven't they? Like,
yeah, but I think still, mate, it's inconsistent because some of them still get penalised and stay on the field.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was a pretty ordinary call. And given the heat that Latrell's been under, I didn't think it was deliberate or foul play. So I felt a bit for him there, and probably the whole South team. I just thought it had been inconsistent to some of the other calls that we've seen where players have stayed on the field.
Yeah. Hey, listen, mate, there's only 5 games of NRL this weekend, and it kicks off Thursday night. It's the Parramatta Eels taking on the Cronulla Sharks, 7:50 at CommBank Stadium, head-to-head. Eels 2.30, Sharks $1.62 at the line. The Eels plus $3.5, $1.98. Sharks minus $3.5, $1.83. Is this too tight? Like, the Eels too short, like $2.30. Like, what are we thinking here, Gids? I just thought the Sharks will bounce back, and they'll bounce back in a big way.
Yeah, it's a bit of a head scratch, mate, this one. Gutho, man, I'm just looking at the team list. Team list just come out.
Well, I'm just going to go. So the Eagles lose Jermaine Hopgood, obviously Origin selection. They do get back Clint Gutherson, Mitch Moses, which would be huge. So they're a couple of really big ends, and I think that's what they're playing off. And the Sharks obviously coming off a bad loss last week. They lose Nico Hines, Cam McGuinness to Origin. And then obviously Happy Hunting Ground Sharks have won their last 3 games at Combank Stadium. If they're going to be the real deal, the Sharks kids, they're going to salute here and get the job done, surely.
Mate, you know what? The team list wasn't out just before we jumped on. I'm going for an upset here.
Oh,
I'm
hang
gonna
on.
I'm gonna back the Eels.
You're going the Para Eel.
Yep, I'm going to back the Eels in this one. Back at home, but if it was at Shark Park, I probably wouldn't go. But I think back at
Gutherson and
home,
Moses is going to make a big difference,
Gutherson,
don't they?
and mate, I just think, mate, they bring skill, they bring competitiveness, experience, but they influence the playing group. They bring positive energy. So I'm going to back the Eels, mate, in this one. I think there's an upset on the cards. Yeah.
Gee whiz, I'm sticking with the Sharks, mate, and I'm sticking with them comfortably to bounce back. They'll be disappointed with last week, and I think they got enough depth to cover. So, we're that's interesting, mate. You've changed it up at the last minute. I like it. Knights for the Bulldogs, Friday night, 8 p.m. at McDonald Jones Stadium. It'll be a sellout again. Knights head-to-head $1.54. Bulldogs $2.48 at the line. The Knights -4.5, $1.99. Bulldogs +4.5, $1.89. Key talking points, all thanks to Palmer Bets. Knights coming off a bye. No players selected for Origin, but they are still without Bradman Best, Kalen Ponga, and Tyson Gamble through injury. For the Bulldogs, big win against the Dragons last week. We just spoke about they do lose Steve Crichton and Matt Burton to Origin. And the Dogs have the form. Bulldogs have won 7 of their last 9 games against the Dogs. So they're kind of been your Newcastle Knights bunny, to be honest.
Mate, they got beat by them earlier in the year. And again, mate, all the talk was around last time they played the Dogs, they beat them by 60, record win, all that sort of thing. Well, the Dogs beat them pretty convincingly, I think, and it was only probably 5 or 6 weeks ago. I think it was the last loss the Knights had. But this one's back at McDonald Jones Stadium. Yeah, they've still got a couple of blokes out at the moment, but I've been really impressed with Davey Armstrong, the way he stepped into fullback with Kalen Ponga out. So I'm on the Knights. They're coming off a bye, and I think although they didn't defend, I thought some of their defensive work against the Titans at Magic weekend was poor. I think they scored off about three or four kicks, and they were lucky to get away with the last try that was sent upstairs to the bunker. So they've still got a bit of work to do, but they're getting the job. They got the job done 4 weeks in a row without Kalen Ponga.
Hey, I can't believe the red pen's gone to Mackay.
Mate, I can't believe the branding's gone. Whatever brand this pen is, they deserve a pat on the back, and I'm going to invest in more. It's still going.
It goes everywhere with you, the red pen, mate. You just put a red line through everybody that you're coming. Hey, I'm sticking with the Knights, and I reckon comfortably, Gids. So, at home, I reckon they're in good nick at the moment. Right, Panthers v Dragons, Saturday, 5:30 p.m. at Panthers Stadium. Head-to-head, Panthers $1.47. Dragons at $2.70. Panthers at the line, -5.5, $1.85. Dragons +5.5, $1.96. Key talking points. Panthers, big chance to the team that beat the Sharks with Edwards, Martin, To'o, and Luai all out, of course, with Origin duties. Plus Cleary, of course, through injury. Dragons need to bounce back after last week, but it gets very hard with no Ben Hunt, Jaden Sewer, Zach Lomax. They're missing through Origin. No Hunt, no chance. Dragons have lost their last 10 straight games without Ben Hunt. Panthers will cover. They'll cover those losses, Gids.
Yeah. I think so, mate. Look at the forward pack still. Moses Lauder, Mitch Kenny, James Fisher-Harris, Scott Sorensen. Yeah, no, I'm still comfortable. Again, next man up type mentality. I like Dane Laurie at fullback. He's a good mover of the ball. So I think it's another convincing win, mate, for the Panthers on this one.
I'm with you, mate. I can't tip the Dragons at the moment. Panthers will get the job done. I reckon they'll get a job done pretty comfortably as well. Hey, Dolphins Raiders Saturday. I reckon this is going to be one of the match of the round. 7:35 at KO Stadium. Head Dolphins $1.60. Raiders at $2.34 at the line. Dolphins -3.5, $1.89. Raiders +3.5, $1.91. Key talking points, all thanks to Palmerbet. Dolphins coming off a disappointing loss to an undermanned Warriors team, and they'd lose the hammer to Origin selection. Of course, he's a big loss. For the Raiders, looking to rebound after a tough loss at home to the Chooks, and they lose Hudson Young, of course, to Origin. And good to be home. The Dolphins have won 3 of the last 4 at KO Stadium and 6 of their last 8 games played in Queensland. Do we sense a little mini upset here against the team that's in good nick in the Dolphins, Gids, or what do you reckon?
Yep. mate, this is my second upset for the weekend.
Oh,
It's
you're
decent
going
odds for the
Raiders.
Raiders. So, yeah, yeah. I
Yep.
mean, Hudson Young's a great competitor, and I lost to the Raiders, but yeah, I think they've been playing some pretty good footy. I was talking, as I said, I was talking to Alan Tungley the other week. It seems like there's a really good culture there at the Raiders for the current playing group, and a lot of old boys involvement, and Sticky re-signed. So I think there's a real belief with the Raiders at the moment, and I'm going to go Raiders, mate, head to head on this one.
I'm sticking with the Dolphins, mate. Done nothing wrong all year. And they haven't had Hammer for a lot of this season. He's been out through injury anyway. So, yeah, I do rate the Raiders, though, Gids. This is the game that
Yeah,
I really had to kind of toss and turn. I actually reckon they're not a bad side. Like, there's a bit of belief amongst that playing group, but I
there is.
reckon the Dolphins will get the job done. Big fella. Roosters Cowboys Sunday 4:05 Allianz Stadium head to head. Roosters $1.15. Cowboys at 5.50. The line the Roosters minus $16.5 Cowboys plus $16.5 Roosters, of course, great win against the Raiders. They do lose Collins, Lanau, and Crichton to Origin, and the Cowboys mass changes. They lose 6 players: Dearden, Cotter, Talagi, Holmes, Nanai, and Robson. That is massive. And not
Yeah,
Sydney. The Cowboys have lost 3 of the last 4 games played in Sydney. Roosters, probably the bet of the weekend for mine. Gids everywhere, I reckon.
mate. I'm just jumping in the palm a bit up. I'm just wondering how I can get like as many points on the Roosters here as possible. I think it's a massive tower. I'm talking 20 plus
Yeah.
for this one.
Yeah. Well, it's
For,
funny you say that, Gids, because my Maddies must have this week involves all my teams winning by 13 plus. Something a little bit different. So I'm thinking that there might be a couple of solid wins this weekend.
yeah, I think so. I think it's a big win. I'm just looking at there's some pretty decent odds, but you got to be able to try and fall in between that 4-point bracket. So if you back the Roosters between 26 to 30 points, there's $6.25, but it's a small little window. But there's some healthy odds there on the Palmer Bet app, mate, in under winning margin. That's for sure.
Yeah, so Roosters comfortably geared. Cowboys, they're gonna have to navigate this next few weeks, aren't they? This Origin kind of month, the best way
Mate,
they can, because they can't afford to lose too many more.
well, I think they're going to struggle big time during this Origin period. It'd be a different story if they were playing good footy in the lead up to this period of Origin, but they're losing their best players over the next 6 weeks. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it.
Yeah, righto, mate. What's your
Big
bets?
task.
What's your pick? It's only a pick
Mate,
5, mate. Surely we salute this week.
mate, pick 5. I'm going to go, a couple of upsets. Eels as an upset against the Sharks.
Yep.
Knights 3. Panthers, Raiders upset the Dolphins, and
Yep.
Roosters.
That puts a little bit of value in, and even so, you've gone Parramatta there as well, so that's going to put a little bit more value in for you too, Gids. And I'm going to update. This is how easy it is, mate. You can just update really simply. I'm going to take. Cronulla Sharks out, and I'm going to add your Parramatta Eels, big fella. Which is really easy to do. And then that is going to give me, for you, Gids, this week, $8.22 for combined pick 5, which is just a nice little bet.
Yes.
I've gone Knights, Panthers, Roosters, Dolphins, and the Eels. Actually, no, you
You
ain't
go on
close,
the
mate.
Eels.
No,
You
sorry.
go on the Eels.
Hang on, I take this back. You've stuffed me up here, big fella. You have stuffed me up here.
I think I'm $12.32. I just punched it out.
Yeah, you're a little bit more. I've given you unders. I apologize. That's $12 for yours because I didn't have the Raiders. I
Yeah.
had the Dolphins still in my little multi there. I've gone Sharks, Knights, Panthers, Dolphins, Roosters. I've gone the favourite way home, which I don't do very often, Gids, to be honest. And that's $7.19. So $7 compared to 12. You got a couple in there, a couple of outsiders in the Raiders and the Parramatta Eels. But
History tells us, mate. There's an upset or two every week.
yeah, I just don't know this week, kids, and the only game I was unsure of, to be honest, was the Canberra and the Dolphins game. I
Canberra.
thought that was the toss of the coin. What I'm also going to do is my Matty's must have. I've taken all those 5 teams 13 plus to win 13 plus. Just something different, thinking that there might be a few little blowouts, and that's going to get you $117.
Oh,
All right. So just sit back, but it's not a bad way to kind of look at things. Like 30 plus, it's only, 2 and a bit converted tries. It's as simple as that. So that's the way I'm going, mate. What about the Gids get on? We're due, big fella.
Yeah, mate, the Gids get on. Look, I've stuck away from the Knights early in the year around my multis, but I'm going to get back on them for this game, coming off a bye. I've loved my Davey Armstrong, the way he supports any line breaks. So I'm going to go Knights 13 plus back at home and David Armstrong to pick up 2 tries.
Oh, I reckon that's going to be around 10 to 1.
Time bet, boys. It's going to have it down here. Teams are still coming right here.
Right there.
Which I think will be decent.
It'll be about 10 or 12 to 1, surely, I reckon.
They're 275, 13 plus outright, and Dave will.
Yeah, he might even get more. It might even be about 15 or $17 or something. So, hey, and this is when you start to excel mid-year Origin. 12 Origin games yourself back in your heyday, Gids. Captain.
Mate, I've just got something here.
Be careful, mate. Be careful. You're in enemy territory, big fella.
I've snuck it over the border.
Mate, if you think you can auction that off in Queensland territory, you got no chance.
I'm going to wear it down the main street of Mackay tonight.
You will get bashed, mate. That is awesome. Who are the signatures on there, Gids?
Oh, mate, it's for a client. So, Danny Baderis, big chiefo here.
Unreal.
We got both Safidi boys, Bradman Best, myself. So, mate, it's on. It's going on.
And you know what, mate? There's not too many blokes that can still whack a jersey on. And fair dinkum, you are in fighting Nick. You are super fit. Seeing you in the flesh the other day, mate, there's not an ounce of fat on you. Your skin test bowl would just be through the roof at the moment. You'd be absolutely smoking it. Hey, mate, awesome. Download the Palmer Bet app, as we say. Punters Club not too far away. And then the key message, obviously, always think about what you're really gambling with. And that's the key message there, Gids. But, it's a really easy app to get around and navigate through, big fella. And I'm looking forward to the next couple of weeks, and in particular, that first game of Origin. It's going to be a belter.
Yeah, belter, mate. Then you got the NRLW second game in Newcastle the following night, back to back.
Fantastic.
Yep, I reckon it's going to be sold out.
That is awesome. That is great. Game 1 was an absolute ripper, of course. The Blues were good in game 1, Gids. They'll be looking at the series up too for the NRL women.
The boys need to follow suit, mate. The girls.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, mate, you enjoy Mackay. I wouldn't step out of that room wearing that top.
Just going for a coffee.
Yeah. See you next week, legend.
See you after. See you, mate.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.